Welcome back to the SCP-5K tetralogy. Now that episode 4, previously episode 3, is being worked on, I thought it nice to go ahead and make this episode 3. This will be firing range, including every single gun in the game, even the ones from the Discovery program. So, let's not waste any more time. Enjoy this nice little kill house footage, even though I'm awful at doing a kill house. And we'll get right into it. Starting off strong, we have the 1911. Pretty basic gun, all things considered. The penetration is very nice against flesh. It is the starting gun for the UAU anytime you load in a chapter for the first time. Whenever you get a checkpoint, it'll switch to a different gun. Recoil is pretty good. It's a 45 ACP, so you can expect that kind of recoil. I will say I did record the magazine pistols a bit differently from the rest of the guns, so they look a bit weird. And here's the recoil pattern. I'm recording this in live time without a script, so this will be great. The Glock. I mean, you can't really say much about the Glock, can you? Great penetration against flesh, good against wood actually, and 17 rounds in the mag. It's a Glock, really. I can't say much about it. I'm not a fan of Glocks. They're blocky, weird. No hammer is just strange to me. But they are good pistols. You can actually spam it pretty fast too. And the reload is kind of nice. I like how you flick the mag out. And a pretty good vertical recoil pattern. Most of the recoil patterns in this game whenever you ADS will be vertical. My favorite pistol in the world, the Beretta M9A3. This is literally the perfect pistol. Amazing frame, good ammo count, good recoil, and a nice heft to it. In-game, it actually doesn't have a lot of recoil either, so that extra weight's really putting in some work. And you can even hip fire it, and the bullet pattern is actually pretty tight. Another nice mag flick. And there's really not much I can say about it. I mean, it's the Beretta. It is such a lovely pistol to use. I highly recommend using it if you play 5K. Sig Sauer makes some very nice weapons, the P320 being one of them. Now, I don't use the P320 a lot, but it is certainly a very nice looking pistol. It has no hammer, which kind of still irks me, but it just looks better than the Glock. I think it's something on the slide that just makes it distinguished from the two. The recoil is surprisingly hard. There's a lot of kick from it that you don't expect from a 9mm, but it is controllable. I even go down a little bit because I'm pulling down too hard. And the best reload for pistols in the game, the mag pull. Mag pull? Slide pull. God, what am I saying? I love that mag pull. I said it again, slide pull. FN Style's coming in with the FN57. I see what they did there in the name and they're not slick. Having the highest magazine capacity across all handguns in the game, it is honestly a really nice weapon. No back hammer, but the entire frame makes up for that. And also the recoil is basically non-existent. Having 20 rounds will always benefit you, no matter the situation. However, it is a little underperforming. 5.7 was made with the P90 to fire the same round to penetrate a bunch of body armor and titanium plate. And the penetration for both of these guns is pretty lackluster. so I am greatly disappointed in their performance in 5K. And here we go with the worst pistol in the game, the Smith & Wesson 360J. Great penetration against flesh, but I despise this weapon. 5 rounds, slow fire rate, very short barrel, so ridiculous recoil, and it just doesn't do damage. Every time I use this thing in the Discovery program, because that's the only place I actually use it, I can't kill anything in a single shot. No matter where I shoot them, head, torso, legs, it does no damage. So it may be cool to some people, snub-nose revolvers have a community, but it's definitely not the gun for me. And also, as you noticed, if you drop the whole cylinder, it will take the other rounds with it, so it's best to fire the whole thing. Smith & Wesson's on a roll for these next guns with a Stealth Hunter 44 Magnum. This is probably the second best looking revolver right up there with one of our other picks, but the 44 Magnum doesn't disappoint. Really good recoil, a very nice sound, and a very good looking gun. Honestly, this is probably the best of the revolvers for multi-purpose use. It's got a good ammo count too. Not to mention, I just love the inspect animation where he pulls back the hammer and then lets it fall forward again. It's so nice. Recoil pattern is expected. It's a 44 Magnum, so you better get good at controlling it. No wrist breakers club here. The 500 Magnum, one of the most powerful revolvers ever made. This does not disappoint. 5 rounds in the cylinder and a ridiculous recoil pattern, as you would expect from a 500 Magnum. The muzzle flash is also ridiculous. You can see it for a couple of frames if you look close enough. I love using this thing. You can see me use it in the Antarctic campaign, shooting 610s and killing them instantly, letting us throw flares on them pretty quickly, but you don't have a lot of ammo, so you have to be conservative with your shots. And they also stun the golems, as you saw in Antarctica, but they might have changed that. I tested it out in the firing range and acted differently, so it may work differently for you. And here is the big boy. The 500 Magnum long barrel. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous revolver. I don't use or even like revolvers very much, but the 500 Magnum is up there with some of the greats. There's not much to say that's different from the 500 Magnum short barrel. They're basically the same gun, just with recoil differences. And you'll see that for a lot of the guns with short barrels going forward. If they have a short barrel, you can expect more recoil, but the exact same performance. And the recoil doesn't even change that much, it's a little lower because of the actual extra weight on the end of the barrel. So, that's nice to keep in mind going forward. On to the shotguns with the Mossberg 590, an American classic. Good penetration against flesh, as you would expect from a buckshot shotgun, but not really stellar anywhere else. It's good for crowd control, I will not deny, and it is very nice to use and slam fire like this. My friend KJ will use these a lot, especially in the Area 12 campaign. You can see bodies going absolutely insane with the ragdolls. I don't like shotguns, I like ARs more, but you can't deny the multi-purpose role of a shotgun. If you're going up against a horde like the Vikhr program, you need one, without a doubt. On to one of the Discovery program exclusives is the 590 Shockwave. I was impressed this was a real weapon, I didn't think it was. 5 round capacity, and a ridiculous amount of recoil. This thing does not have a stock. It does have a nice little grip on the end, as you can see. I don't like this very much. And you saw the asterisks. I don't know the exact penetration results because I can't use it in the firing range. So, just in the discovery program, I don't like it. The aiming is wonky, the damage is hit or miss. I'm just not very good with it. But kudos to you if you can use it. And the M1014. Honestly, this has to be one of my favorite shotguns right up there beside the SPAs. Semi-auto, a great frame, and you can really span this. But, as you can expect with an automatic shotgun, you have to be careful of your ammo capacity, and how many rounds are in the tube. Not even 3 seconds and all my ammo's gone. And it takes a long time to reload because it's a shotgun with tube feeding, not mag feeding. So, just be wary, and you're going to be pressing the reload key a lot. And it's got a really good recoil pattern too. I actually emptied the entire tube without the gun going above the wall. I think. Yeah, I can count. I promise. KJ, I don't want to see a comment on the video saying I can't. I know I can. Shut up. Onwards with the M1014 short. Like I said before and going forward, there isn't much of a difference between these two guns. It's really only the recoil. Like that. And it only has 5 rounds, because the tube is shorter. Can't have a short barrel with a long tube, that's gonna fuck everything up. But, still a good gun nonetheless. If you ever get caught in a pinch, a short barreled gun is gonna be nice. Use it at close quarters, peek around a corner with it, surprise someone. Just do what you want to do with a short barrel. You got freedom. On to our snipers and marksmen, we have the M24A3, marksman rifle from America. As you can expect, the flesh penetration is stellar, 6+, but the material pen is a little bit lacking. Understandable though, because I think this is a 338, or a... I don't know the exact caliber, someone can correct me in the comments. But 7 round capacity, and you can fire it surprisingly fast for a bolt action. Also, that reload is kind of wonky, how he just kind of flips it over. It would be nice if he just dropped it. But for a sniper that fires a considerably large round, the recoil isn't that bad. You can use these in close quarters. My friend Pasta uses another gun that's coming up as a close quarter shotgun, but use it how you wish. Coming all the way from World War I and II is the SMLE. This gun is instantly recognizable. Again, asterisks because I can't use this in the firing range. So I'm going to assume it has the same stats as the M24. Absolutely amazing, just an amazing gun. That's how you sum it up. It's the SMLE. 10 round capacity, very good reload. Well, not reload. You gotta load it one by one. Even though we saw our character take out the magazine. But a good fire rate. I don't know if it's like an accurate reload, because I think I've heard people say like all you need to do is turn your wrist to pull back the bolt. But now we're gonna wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. Okay, now we're reloaded. We took the mag out, by the way, so Affray, it'd be nice if we emptied the mag that we just get rid of the gun. Or, get rid of the gun. No, I need my gun. Also, fuck you, early. Coming in from Russia is the VSS Vintorez. A somewhat weird looking gun with an integral suppressor. 20 round mags, and a very jarring looking stock. It's surprisingly quiet in game. Recoil is pretty controllable on semi-auto, but once we switch to full auto, yeah. Use this as a marksman rifle. You've only got 20 rounds in the mag. Yeah, and that's considerable recoil. So I'd use it as semi-auto, but you do you. The biggest sniper in the game, the GM6 Lynx. This gun is just hefty. You run slower with it, you aim slower with it, and you reload slower with it. It is a massive hulking 50 cal sniper, and the performance stats are underwhelming. My anti-material rifle can't go through 5 layers of metal that are not very thick, so it's very strange. There we go. It's very strange to have an anti-material rifle that can't go through a lot of material, especially seeing as currently there is no way to get the GM6 Lynx except for in 914 on very fine, and it's not even the GM6 Lynx anymore. It's a wonder weapon that's completely different from how this gun operates. So I don't know if they plan to use it in the future, but it would be nice if it had its full potential. Next up is the Knight's Armament Company L.A.M.G. I cannot believe that is a real company name. Of course, coming from America, this is a massive L.M.G. It is surprisingly fun to use, even though you can only use it in this and Discovery Program, I think. Yeah. It sounds very punchy, and I like that you can see the belt moving up too. But I'm going to let this clip going forward show you just how ridiculous it can get.
It's a machine gun! Machine gun!
Now the box is empty. My ears are gone. I also love the reload. It's so slow, but you expect it. I can't talk when this thing fires, it's so loud. But for an L.M.G. that has 4 box mags, so 600 rounds of ammo, very, very good weapon, especially against hordes. Our first SMG is the Stribog SP9A3. Okay, I don't remember this thing at all. The name at least, I just call it the Stribog. A very good flesh penetration for a 9mm SMG. It is also only semi-automatic, but that actually works in the gun's favor. If this thing was full auto, I don't think it'd be as good, because for some reason the Stribog is amazing at popping heads. You shoot a zombie in the head once and they die with this thing. I don't know if the damage is wonky or if they fixed it lately, but this thing is very fun to use. And of course, being an SMG with no recoil, it's pretty heavy. Or the character's just good at controlling recoil. I'm also going to be doing the mag change going forward. And of course, the SP9A3S is just a short barrel version. There is literally no change other than the short barrel. But going forward, I will show reloads from an empty magazine from the sights, because there's some really cool reloads. Don't know why I let go of the sight there. The first in the MP5 series is the A4. All of these have the exact same stats for the MP5s. So flesh pen across the entire series is great. And, I mean, what can I say? It's an MP5. One of the most recognizable weapons in the world. Because Heckler & Koch is just an amazing company. Extremely controllable recoil. And the slap. With the full stock, you don't get a lot of recoil either, so Very, very controllable gun. Next up is the MP5 SD6, an integral suppressed MP5 with a slower recoil to boot. I love this thing, and I actually impressed a whole SWAT team whenever I knew the name of it off my head because they didn't know it apparently. This weapon is fun, but it doesn't show up, I don't think, a lot, if at all. The slower recoil does mean you can control your shots easier, and the suppressor is very nice for enemies not knowing where you are. And sadly, no slap, because the suppressor is fragile, I think. Or something going on with the suppressor restricts us from doing the slap. So, thumb reload. What can you do? The MP5 Kurz, an extremely small MP5 with a no stock and a short barrel, along with a vertical grip, because if this didn't have a vertical grip, I highly doubt you could even control it. This thing is just very, very fun to use. Rushing around a corner and blitzing someone is very fun. Because of that, you can control it surprisingly well from the hip and the slap. And it surprisingly didn't go over the wall, so that's nice. Going on with the Kurz is the PDW variant. This one is basically the same as the Kurz. Same fire rate, different recoil control because of the stock. But it has a skeleton stock, so sadly you can't flip it down whenever you change weapons, but maybe we'll get that in the future. So just enjoy the sounds, because there's not much to say about this. Moving on from the MP5s is the MP7. Born as the rival to the P90, the MP7 is very underwhelming. I think this is the lowest penetration score across the board. It can't go past 3 flesh barriers in the firing range, but it's got 40 rounds, so with a recoil like that, you can use them all instantly. And a very nice reload. I can't speak today, dude. The MP9 was from Switzerland this time, with higher scores than the MP7, which I was very surprised to see because this is 9mm. This one is pretty fun. I don't like the look of it very much. It kind of looks like a Roblox asset. But another 40 round SMG, you can't really complain. The horizontal recoil, though, is awful. Gonna need a compensator for that. But no vertical recoil. So just ADS with this thing and you'll be fine. The UMP45. I love this gun. It's heavy, blocky kind of, and very, very punchy because it fires 45 ACP. And I totally didn't forget to do the mag pull. Or mag check, sorry. This is just one of the best SMGs. I love the 2-round burst on it. Not to mention 25 round mags, you go through them quick, but with a look like that, I can't really hate it. And it lasts surprisingly long in the full auto mode. The sights are also very nice to use. They look good whenever you look down them for the irons. And a nice slap on the side. The Foundation's trusted weapon, the P90, or Project 90. Again, very underwhelming stats comparable to the FN57, but I'm not complaining about a 50-round SMG. This thing is insanely fun to use, and you'll even see that the magazine does indeed work. I love that detail. The recoil is pretty crazy from the hip. And the irons are disgusting. I usually don't use a P90 with the irons. I have to get a sight on it because I can't see what I'm shooting at. Still, an amazing weapon. And finally, we enter the assault rifles, and we're starting with the AKs because there's so many of them. With the Draco, we have basically just an AKS-74U, but shorter barrel even. Or an even more shorter barrel. And a really bad recoil control. It might just be me. It loves to go everywhere. Like, that recoil pattern has to be one of my worst across this entire video. And the sights are just weird. I don't know, it's unnatural seeing AK with a sight like that, so... Hey, if you like the Draco, go for it. You can find it in Chapter 1 before the parking garage. Moving on is the AK-74M, a more modern version of the AK-74, which fires the 5.45 by 39mm round. So, the brown, kind of less curved magazine. Recoil is still good because this is a full AK variant. And honestly, I kind of like using it. I'm not usually an AK fan, but if there's an AK, I'm probably going to take the 74M. The 103, 104, and 105 all have the same values. Well, no, not the 105. But I don't know the difference between these guns. So if you can let me know, then that'd be appreciated. They're fun. I'll say that. They're fun to use, but I don't really use them. I don't like Kalashnikovs. Never really have been a fan of Kalashnikovs. But it is a very, very famous weapon. And seeing how many versions there are, I think Affray likes the Kalashnikovs just a little bit. And hey, yeah, I totally didn't forget to do the ADS reload for half the video. I don't know what you're talking about. The 104, I think, is just a short-barreled version of the 103. I think. Again, I don't know a lot about AKs, and if you can tell me the difference, appreciate that very much. Recoil is a little bit worse, because I think it's the short barrel, so gotta control it a little bit more. But hey, if you like the 104, then here you go. You can't say Affray doesn't include the weird ones. I believe a modernized AKM-74 is the AK-105, firing again the 5.45 by 39mm. It has a bit better recoil, and that's about it, really. Like I said, it's a Kalashnikov. What can you do? Kinda looks like a horse. I can see it. Yeah. We're not done with the Kalashnikovs. The Asval is also based on it, at least, with a great flesh penetration, and similar like the other AKs. Internally suppressed, like the VSS Vintorez, since I think they were developed side by side. Correct me if I'm wrong. They both take hints from each other. But the recoil is ridiculous on full auto. Even on ADS, it goes so high up. If you use this weapon, good luck with the recoil. I can't control it. The SR3M Vikhr is a gun I didn't even know existed, really. I saw it playing Phantom Forces in like 2017, 2018 maybe, earlier than that. I don't really pay much mind. I think it's just a non-suppressed, short-barreled Asval. And if that is the case, then it's not a bad gun. But the recoil is still stupid. Moving on with our series of ARs is the SG553, coming in from Switzerland. The penetration is very nice, no 6+ for flesh, but I'll take 4 and 5. 553 is one of my favorite assault rifles in the game, right there beside the Mark 18 and the AUG. It's just has a very good look because Sig Sauer never misses with their designs. And the recoil is just good. It feels good. Even if it does go to the right a little bit. The irons are also very nice, although the hole could probably be a little bit smaller to make a good aperture. The SBR is a short-barreled version. Who would have guessed? Exact same thing as the other SG553, but with a little bit worse recoil control. I usually take the longer barrel one because I like longer barreled weapons. Look at the Lynx, the Heket 2, the 50, or the Beretta 50, you know. I like long, very punchy weapons. But yes, the recoil is stupendous. However, very nice reload animations. I totally did not forget to do the ADS reload. The SG553R is an SG553, but with a different caliber. What caliber exactly? I have no fucking clue. I think it's the same as the AK-47. So, 7.62. I don't know why that passed my mind. But it does have a 3-round burst, so that is very fun to use. Recoil is controllable, but it is a little hard from the hip. And that has to be the weirdest reload I've ever seen. The SBR is a short-barreled rifle. Who would have guessed? Not much to say about this. It's the exact same as the 553R, so just enjoy the footage. I still don't understand why he does it with his thumb. That's so weird. Coming in from Israel is the Galil 22N. Very good performance, especially against the wood. I didn't expect it to go that far in. The Galil is a weird one. I don't like it that much. The look is just odd. And it's funky. I don't know, it's weird. But I can't deny how good it is. I also made a squirrel right there. I was very lucky. The sights are okay, but I prefer if the front sight didn't have those two wings on the side. Similarly is the 21N, which is just a short-barreled version. I haven't seen the 21N be used in-game, but if it is there, then hey, you got people do like short-barreled versions sometimes. So, if you like not being able to see the end of your barrel because the receiver, or the front grip's in the way, then hey, here you go. Coming in from Belgium once again with F and her style is a Mark 17 Scar H. This is a very fun weapon. 20 round box mags, and you get X+2 actually, so it's very nice. Very punchy sound, and it's a very fun gun to use. However, the full auto is ridiculous. And the sights are horrendous. It is hard to see what you're shooting at with iron sights. But a very fun weapon. I like using it as a marksman war rifle. Rifle. The CQBR is a close quarters combat rifle. Exact same performance, just with a little bit worse recoil. I don't think I need to talk your ear off about that again. The Mark 18 is America's good old-fashioned M4. I love this weapon. No 6+ for flesh, but whenever you got 30 rounds and a good recoil and a good fire rate, I can't really complain. The M4 is the most modular weapon in the game in my opinion, but that's mainly because of how the M4 was made with the insane amount of Picatinny rails. The recoil is also not what you expect sometimes. I certainly didn't expect it to go that fast, but amazing rifle, very fun to use, I highly recommend it. Oh boy, here we go. The AUG. Country of origin? Austria. Penetration statistics? Alright, up there with the Mark 7, with the Mark 18. If you got that reference, I love you. The AUG is the best bullpup rifle in the game, and the best bullpup rifle ever made. Yes, the best bullpup rifle ever made. I will not hear otherwise. It is insanely fun to use, and very easy to control. I say as my hand goes to the right. You even get a slap, which I just love. This was the game that made me get an airsoft AUG, like a nice full metal one, and do the slap over and over. Just such a good gun. I love it. I'll never stop loving it. Second to last is the Tavor X95, another gun from Israel, and a very wonky one. Not in use, but in design. It reminds me of the XM8, if you guys know that gun. It just looks weird. But that's not going to take away from its lethality. It's still pretty good rubbing shoulders with the Mark 18 and the L.A.M.G A3. And a very good fire rate. The only weird thing is you can see on the right side of the screen, the bullets go forward to the right. So, I don't know if that's a game thing or if that's actually how the bullets are shot out, but that's a little strange. Still, a very good rifle. And our last rifle is the SA-58 OSW. From USA and Belgium, this weapon very heavily is inspired by the FAL, and I think was even based on it. It is a 20-round magazine with a lot of recoil. Trying to control that thing is like trying to control a bull. Also, is the slide, or is that slide on the left supposed to not move? Or is that supposed, I don't know. If you can tell me if that's supposed to move, that'd be nice. See, he pulls back on it, but it doesn't move when firing. I'll never know. That is every single gun in 5K and a lead pipe. There are 48 guns, if you want to know, because I counted. And I did read all of these, but this is mainly just out there so I can get something in before I release the last episode. So, I of course hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you in the last episode of the SCP 5K tetralogy. This is NBUD24, signing out.